And Ephesians 6, it summarizes how we should fight as believers, as Christians, is that we need to use the sword, which is the word of God. That's what we discussed yesterday, fighting with the word. And again, we need to stand our ground. Because one of the things that happens, which I face and which happens to me a lot of the times, is that sometimes you have dreams which are like, you could call it a nightmare, but I look at it as a spiritual attack, depending on, what you're thinking about. But I consider them spiritual attacks. And a lot of the times when those happen, it's actually when I've encountered dark forces. And when I say dark forces, is perhaps, let's say I post something on Threads and this post goes viral, and you find there are a lot of people I've had actually people who like worship the kingdom of darkness, who worship in the kingdom of darkness, come on my page and start commenting stuff, right? And when that happens, a lot of times, it's weird to say, but I've noticed that when I look at the comments, or the times that I've actually engaged with those people to actually try and see like, okay, who is this person? Because at first you just think it's just someone who's just, saying whatever they want to say. It's a troll. And when I would go to sleep, I would have these attacks at night. Like seriously, I would have these attacks at night. And in my mind, and just through prayer, just through my own relationship with God, I was praying to say, okay, God, protect me. And I just don't give up. It's like when those attacks come in, I'm like ready to fight in my dreams. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's something that happens, and it's something that's real, that happens when you try and get attacked at times. And so one of the things that I've done as I'm going through this journey, it's like also not engaging with that. Because sometimes you wake up and like, okay, your face is puffy. Right. And I'm sharing this because I'm also wanting to expose the kingdom of darkness, that this stuff is real. This stuff happens all the time. If I tell you, I've heard so many stories about what people have told me and things that I've heard people say, where I'm like, yo guys, like the kingdom of darkness is real. It is there, and it needs to get exposed, because it does not like sunlight. It does not like the light. It hides from the light. So this is something that is serious, that needs to get taken seriously. Because I'll wake up with my face, it's like puffy. And I'm like, oh, my sleep. I just went to battle tonight. Sleeping. And there's a part that we just need to understand, that what we see, what we're told, like, okay, the things that are unseen and stuff is real. It's stuff that happens all the time. All the time. People wake up, they're like, okay, that actually happened. Like it's actually something that's happening, right? So that's why it's important to always pray, even at night. I'm talking about standing firm in the word, standing firm with Christ, standing firm from a place of victory, as we're discussing this. But the most important part is realizing that we're also being called to stand firm in spirit. In spirit, even when you're sleeping, praying in the morning, when you're walking. During the day, it's easy maybe to tell, because sometimes there are people that have darkness that's just working on them because they haven't gotten themselves, and they might not know that they are working for the kingdom of darkness. but they're just part of the system. It's not because they know that they're doing the stuff as a function to help the kingdom of darkness, but it's just the world, right? We work for different companies that we work for. And if you don't really take time to understand or research the kind of company that you're working for and who's behind it, what's the purpose? What are they doing? Are they serving people? Are they taking advantage of people? Like, if you don't understand all of that, like, because one of the things that they like to do, right, the kingdom of darkness to really pick out is where is your energy? Is your Because they want to suck energy, suck your soul, suck your energy, everything out of you as a person. And that's why they like to attack, to exhaust you. So that's the thing to always pick up, right? So just think about those things. And that's why when people talk about, like, okay, when you hang out with one person or another person, you might get exhausted. And sometimes, especially when it's talking about things about the kingdom of heaven, like if you're energized by the kingdom of heaven and by the gospel, that is where you're supposed to be. But when you have those conversations with, certain people and, different situations, and you're like, okay, this is exhausting. Like, what is going on? Right. Like, for example, I hear a lot of people say, okay, gossiping. When you hear someone starting to gossip, you're just like, sometimes you just walk away like, oh, what is going on? Like, I feel like I'm just drained. Like, what is going on? So it's to realize the things that we're doing and the circles that we're in, it might just be these habits. But those habits, it's not that the people are evil. Like, again, like I said, the battle's not with your coworkers or any person specifically, but it's actually with the powers that we don't see. And the people that we surround ourselves might also be getting influenced by these powers. So that is why it's always important to have a, a community of people that can energize you, and you're focused on the kingdom of light and you stand firm. You get stronger. You guard your mind. That is why it's so important. So everything. Now we're fighting. Now we're standing firm. We have to protect, because part of fighting, you have to also defend yourself, right? So it's like the defense mechanism. I'm talking technical, like military now.